Hey guys, so as always I am starting out with my foundation, which is the Beautycounter Tint Skin, and I am just applying it all over my face. As you can see, it's really lightweight, and so it doesn't cover every little spot on my face, but I really like how natural it looks, and I'm just using a damp beauty blender with it. Next up, I'm using my Urban Decay Naked Skin Concealer. This is my absolute favorite concealer, and I just color in parts of my face where I want to just mute some of the redness. And I definitely picked a pimple above my lip that I should have really left alone. And then I do the same thing that I did with my foundation, which is to just blend it in using my damp beauty blender. So I need to set my face, but I avoid using powder all over my face, otherwise I just look too matte. And so I just concentrate the powder on the parts where I get oily, which is like on my forehead, around my nose, and my chin. While I'm pretty much baking my face, I like to go in with the NARS eyeshadow primer, and then I just apply some evenly onto each lid. I have really veiny eyelids, by the way. This is the one and only eyeshadow palette in my current collection, and I'm gonna start by going in with Day. So when I apply this, it just kind of hides the veins you see on my eyelids, and whatever color I place on top, it picks up a little nicer. Then I'm going in with Classic, and I only really add this color so that I don't have like stark white eyeshadow on my lids. Next, I'm going in with Strapless, and I just apply a little bit close to the lash line. And then I take some Cashmere Bunny, and I just apply some to the outer corners of my eyes. I don't really know what I'm doing most of the time, but then I just keep placing it until it feels right, and then I blend it with a clean blending brush. And then I'll just keep blending until I'm somewhat satisfied. Yeah, this'll do. It's time to curl the lashes, and this is always so awkward for me because I have to be careful not to like rub off the eyeshadow. So I try my best to get my lashes as curled as possible, and then I go in with my favorite eyelash primer. This is the Etude House Dr. Mascara Fixer. I swear by this mascara. It's from a Japanese brand called Kiss Me, and it's the Heroine Make Long and Curl Mascara. There's also one that looks really similar called Volume and Curl, but that one sucks. You gotta get this one. Look at the difference. Look how happy I am inside. Okay, and then I go ahead and dust off the remaining powder, and I go in with my bronzer. And this is the only bronzer slash blush that I use. I don't use anything else. And I just add a little bit on my cheeks, around my hairline, my temples, just to give a little bit of dimension, and then some on my nose for good luck. Before I fill in my brows, I like to brush them out with a spoolie. And these are what they look like before I draw them in. I'm using my Schumacher Hard Formula. I love this eyebrow pencil, but the only thing is I do have to take it to a Schumacher counter for them to sharpen it with a blade. And so I am having a bit of a hard time drawing in my eyebrows right now. It's usually way more of a smoother process. Then I use Glossier's Boy Brow to groom them even further, and I like to brush the front parts of my brows up and then the other hairs, I guess, straight or just down, I don't know. And then I like to go back in with the spoolie and then just make sure there aren't any clumps from the Boy Brow gel. And that's how they look when they're done. This is my favorite part, and it is highlighting with RMS Beauty's Living Luminizer. I love this stuff because no matter how tired I feel, whenever I slap this on, I just feel way more lively, and it just makes me feel really like fresh and clean. And then yeah, putting it in the inner corners definitely makes me look a little more alive. Ew. Okay, last step is using Bite Beauty's lip pencil in Rhubarb. And like I've mentioned before, if my lips weren't like losing pigment, like this is exactly the color of my lips. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!